30 minutes something? Oh, Black Lives Matter? You got a problem with Black Lives Matter too?
A bunch of
what?
a bunch of
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Charleston White. Now, Charleston White has been out here talking a lot, making a lot of claims on social media. He has this ongoing back and forth between Jay Prince, mob ties and him, and he's also a comedian. So he goes out of town to do comedy shows. Now, recently, Charleston White was in Virginia. He took plenty of pictures showing him at a comedy show in Virginia, and it looks like he was still in town today, where him, his manager, and some of his business partners, and some guys that he had recently done a podcast with were out having something to eat. Then somebody ran up on Charleston White, y'all.
Bruh.
Yeah, I'm being for real. Ran up on him while he was eating, man. Or at least waiting for his food. But man, you know we got the video. And the guy posted a video of his own on his own page that ran up on Charleston White, and he tried to make his own explanation why. Now, before we get to the specifics and talk about the details, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, so here's the guy who ran up on Charleston White right here, right? This guy right here. As you can see on his shirt, it says Black Lives Matter 757. So he's obviously either supported that group, a member of that group, but based on his social media page, I think he's actually the president of that chapter. Now that area code is in Virginia. So that lets you know that Charleston White is still in Virginia doing podcasts, doing interviews. You know, he just had a comedy show there, you know, basically doing his roundabouts at, you know, on his business end, you know, outside of him being kind of an internet troll and an internet antagonizer to gangster rappers and drill rappers. He's also a comedian and he's also an entertainer, and he does that for a living, I'm pretty sure, right? So Charleston White is sitting at the table with these people right here. You see, when this guy in the picture pops up, man, and that's when the exchange begins. So man, let's actually look at the video. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play two videos. I'm gonna play Charleston White's video where he's videoing the guy, and the people from his team are taking a video of the guy who claims to be from Black Lives Matter. And the guy posted his own video on his page. So I got that for y'all too. You know what's up, man. So let's check this out.
Make sure y'all get a BLM 757. Y'all coming into our neighborhood and saying Black Lives Matter during Black History Month. Like, you a sellout. Straight sellout.
So put the camera down.
I'm gonna keep them up. We 30 minutes something? Oh, Black Lives Matter? You got.
Now, for those of you who missed that, and I know it came in loud, this guy said that he was upset about Charleston White always dissing Black Lives Matter, always condemning Black Lives Matter. He does that a lot. Like, he does it on several platforms. He's very vocal about not liking that organization. And this guy, being a president or a member of that organization, is out there speaking for them. Like, yo, man, that's not what's up, trying to diss us. At the same time, he's got two phones in his hand, and he's videotaping everything. He's trying to catch everything on video, right?
a bunch of a bunch of
Now, at that point, Charleston White said something to him which was very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is condoning what he said at all. But, you know, it was to dig deep and to troll the guy for running up on him, I think.
You look like it.
Now, the guy called Charleston White out of his name and made an insult back that I'm not going to repeat, and told him to put some gloves on, because Charleston White continued to insult the guy, and people that were in his party or somebody near was laughing. You know what I'm saying? So kind of raising the situation to a level where things are getting uneasy. You know what I mean?
How about that? You a manhood.
Now, you heard the guy say, hey, you are in my hood. Now, this dude also took to social media to post his own video. Now, in his video, he gives his point of view, and you can see him a little bit more information where he's trying to get over there to Charleston White.
I mean, he pretty much said, that's just people right there you gotta go through. You know what I'm saying?
Now, the guy said, can I get a short interview with him? And one of the guys who was sitting on the opposite end of the table was like, oh, those are his people that you got to go through. They're the ones who can get you with him. You know what I mean? Letting it be known that Charleston White, when he does these big interviews and all these interviews he's doing, he's getting paid, man. So he gets paid for being a comedian, gets paid for doing the interviews, and then goes online to troll people, man. And all of it is entertaining. You know, I don't agree with everything that Charleston White says at all. I want to put that out there. But, man, dude is definitely getting his bread.
You can't get an interview with Charleston White? We're trying to get an interview with Charleston White? We're Black Lives Matter, you know what I'm saying? We got the people. We're trying to go do an interview with Charleston White.
The guy is telling them, hey, he charges for interviews. They charge for interviews. So letting it be known like, yo, there's a paywall there if you want to speak with him and interview him. But, you know, that's common practice now.
We're just trying to get an interview. He said Black Lives Matter. We're just trying to make sure there's some inequality.
Now, you heard that, right? There was a change. He went from, yo, I'm trying to get an interview, to you said this about my organization, Black Lives Matter. You see what I'm saying?
You said what? You said Black Lives Matter? It's free.
Now, it seemed like at that point, Charleston White was trying to ignore the guy. He had the phone to his ear. He's looking down. Everything you would do if you're trying to ignore somebody, right? And the dude is kind of pushing the issue. He's continuing to push the issue.
I'm impressed, though.
And that's the part we didn't catch. Because in the original video, I was like, well, I didn't see where Charleston White said that to him directly. In that point, you see Charleston White, he kind of sticks his head up and he says, and your organization. You know what I'm saying? Throws a diss to this guy and his organization. And then the dude throws the same diss back, right?
Make sure y'all get a BLM 757. Y'all coming into our neighborhood saying Black Lives Matter during Black History Month. Like, you a sellout, nigga. Straight sellout.
Okay, put the camera down.
I'm gonna keep them up. What, you threatening me or something? On Black Lives Matter? You got a problem with Black Lives Matter too? Oh.
Now, they're in a weird position because the guys at the table are smart enough not to engage with this guy or to start anything with him. Because remember, when I showed the pictures, he had 2 cameras up. So they're like, hey, put the camera down if you really got a problem. And he's like, why? I'm not trying to get into a physical altercation with y'all, so I'm going to keep these cameras up. And they like, all right, we just going to sit here and just let it slide because he got these cameras on us and there really ain't nothing you could do at this point because it only takes a second for something to go viral and then the headline would read something different than what's being put out there.
What? Yo, midget ass, put some gloves on. How about that? You in my hood. Remember that.
So that's a very good view of both points of view, I should say. Because you get to see this guy walking up the manner that he walked up in, and when the initial exchange started to go downhill and turn bad. Charleston White just jumped on the phone and was like, yo, man, jumped off the phone and dissed him because it seemed like the dude was pretty much pestering them. Because he was even sitting down, and it looks like he had put out a post, and I'll post it right here, where he said, Charleston White spotted. And then I guess from that point on, he said, forget it. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to confront Charleston White and get this off my chest.
Make sure y'all get a BLM 757. Y'all coming into our neighborhood and saying Black Lives Matter during Black History Month. Like, you a sellout. Straight sellout.
Okay, put the camera down.
I'm going to keep them up. What, you threatening me or something? On Black Lives Matter? You got a problem with Black Lives Matter too?
A bunch of
What?
a bunch of You look like it.
Bitch, put some gloves on.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? You a manhood.
All right, man. So as you see there, Charleston White, man, he's probably, at this point, he's probably said something to upset everyone, you know? And when you do these things where you run up on him and things like that, you're only going to feed into his ability to gain more attention and ability to get clicks and likes, man. Charleston White is an interesting character because we've seen this before, but you got to be ready for when people do run up on you. And it looks like Charleston White stays ready. He's always got a lot of people with him. Because even in the first video, you could see there was a guy kind of sitting there, and I'm assuming that was his security. And when the guy showed up originally, you can't tell if he's on some peace type stuff or not, but Charleston White knows he said things about Black Lives Matter. So as soon as he seen that shirt, he probably already knew, like, okay, this guy's from a chapter of Black Lives Matter that's out there in Virginia, and he obviously is gonna have an issue with me. So he tried to ignore it at first and then said, forget it, man. Went all, not wild on him, but went to dissing him, you feel me? Went to saying things that were disrespectful, because that's what Charleston White does, man. He likes to push people's buttons and get underneath their skin and get that reaction, man, because he's good at reacting back, and it creates content, and all the eyes are watching all the while, right? Even when the guy was walking away, right? The guy was walking away, he was down at the end of the table. Charleston White, he was talking even crazier to him. And you see the guys around the table, they're on the end of the table, they're all the ones who are kind of looking like, man, where's this going or where's this coming from? But if you're going to be out with Charleston White, you got to know that dude, he has enemies out there, man. He's got a lot of enemies and people who, not as many as he has fans. I'll say that. There's people who don't like him, who he's dissed directly, but he still has a lot of fans, especially the older community. They love him, man. If you looked at his comedy show, that was a big turnout. It looked like it was a sold-out event. He boasted that it was a sold-out event. And from everything I've seen, it seems like it. But there's people that he said things about in the past that's always going to come back to haunt him. You know what I mean? And maybe they can come down to a positive resolution. But Charleston White is a straight shooter. He says what he feels. And I don't know, sometimes some of the things he says, people might take them to heart and always have some sort of grudge against him. But y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Y'all think Charleston White handled this correctly with this dude running up? They're kind of saying, and I think in his post he even said, I got attacked by somebody from Black Lives Matter. This is more of somebody, having a disagreement with him and maybe a verbal attack or something like that. But this isn't really like somebody putting hands on him or anything like that. What do y'all think about this? Did he react in the correct way? Or do you think Charleston White just gonna react how Charleston White does? Now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.